How's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Games Over Explained. Today we're going to be playing Rogue Tower, which is a tower defense game with some roguelike elements. It's actually really interesting. I've played a couple rounds and I've enjoyed it so far. As you can see, there's a whole upgrade tree that adds new cards to your deck, and we'll go more into that once we're actually in the game. So as you can see, you start with a simple tower and a couple of villages to defend. You do get bonuses for putting ballista or other guard towers next to those towers, so we'll be doing that. And then each round starts when you click expand. As the game continues on, the expansion will give you more variety and options. So for now, we're just going to start dropping some ballista down. Just try to keep them close to these houses. That way we can make sure that we get those gold benefits. So let's go ahead and expand, let the first run come through, and that's it. You can also see that if you click on these actual ballista towers, you can make different upgrades as well as set their target priority. The guys closest to the tower, I like to leave at progress. That's just whoever's first in line. And then you can go through and you can actually upgrade, their health damage multiplier, armor damage multiplier, and shield damage multiplier. So for now, we're going to actually put some more ballista up. You can see that there's different range benefits as you place these. This gets no benefit, +1, +2, +3, and all that's doing is increasing the effective range that these guys have. We are going to go ahead and leave everything default for now because we're still in the starting stages, so it's not really much of a threat. But as we continue on, this game gets increasingly more chaotic. So let's go ahead and expand one more time. We should have an easy enough time. I'm just trying to stock up on my gold as we expand our trail here so that we can try and keep sorted on everything. We do have this guy here who's coming up. We should be okay still. Yep. Okay, cool. So here you can see our first card draw. Each random round, I actually have not figured out when we get these, but it seems to be kind of RNG. You can get these different cards that you can select that will add different benefits or towers or buildings to your repertoire. So we're going to start with Kill Them with Fire, which is increased maximum burn per second, and that should get us going pretty good. So I am going to actually add a, let's hit expand first, and then we'll immediately put down a ballista. That one should be good there and have pretty good range to be able to start firing into this crowd. And then we do have enough gold to add another ballista there. It's not going to be as useful mid-round. Hopefully they can get this settled. But in the future, this will be nice to be able to try and wear them out as they're coming around this serpentine type trail here. All right. And as you can see, we are able to expand again. Let's go ahead and actually just upgrade one of these guys. We don't need to put any more super close. So I want to go ahead and add some health damage upgrade to this one. And let's do armor damage to this guy. And then we're going to set this priority to most armor, and this one just to progress for now. I'd like to get another one over here that's going to be most health, but we'll see where we are after we expand here. I've learned that you want to be extremely cautious about how much gold you're actually spending. It's useful to keep some on you in case you need to drop an emergency ballista somewhere. Eventually we'll be able to unlock more towers that aren't just ballista, and they all have different, pros and cons of using them. But for now, ballista is what we have to work with, so it's what we're going to work with. Hopefully we can clean this up over here before these guys get in. I want to thin this out just a bit. Ooh, it's getting close. All right. We might take one here. Yep. All right, so we took a damage, and you can see here, your tower health is up on the top. We've dropped from 10 to 9. So I'm thinking we should probably go ahead and add some more ballista up here, up at the entry point. We're just going to grab our range benefits as best we can. They have pretty good range by default, but it is better to get them higher up so that they can kind of compensate a little more, because this could loop around, or it's really hard to say where it's going to go until we actually click expand. So we do have an iron mine here, which we can add a mine to if we get the card draw from it, and that will help increase our tower's health, as well as increase the chance of randomly healing. And then it looks like we also have another village up here that we can place some towers next to reap some benefits from the gold. So it looks like we're doing okay so far. Our problem right now is that they're coming around this corner, and it's kind of a no man's land until they get into this corner. So let's go ahead and place our ballista up here. That should give us a good +3 on the range, which will make us a little more effective. As you can see, it covers quite the distance, so they'll come around this corner and this ballista will immediately be able to start firing. And then we got a card draw as well. So let's grab the Heavy Shafts one, which is going to increase +1 damage to all armor. Very useful to have. And then we'll come up here, and we actually don't have enough gold to do anything else, so let's go ahead and run it. So we took a little bit of damage there, another 2 off of our health bar. I seem to struggle in the early game with getting to the point where we're running efficiently. I think really my problem is I'm not using priority nearly enough. So let's go through and kind of set some priorities. Since we're kind of in a pinch with gold, we could put 1 more ballista down. I'll probably put it up here next to this village just to get the gold benefit from it. But for now, let's go through and grab these priorities and make sure that they're not just shooting at random. All right, so right now I've got these guys set up to fire at most health and this guy to set up at most armor. And then we come around here, this one's firing at progress, most armor. Let's change this to near death. Hopefully we can pick off anyone that's come through here and is kind of closer to death. Here we will go with most health, and then let's do, actually, yeah, let's do most health because we have most armor right across the way. So these two have a substantial amount of overlap. Hopefully they'll be able to wear on each other. And then here we have most health, and then progress, and all of these guys progress. And the last thing we're going to do is grab one of these ballista, and I want to drop it here next to this village that way, or this house, so I can get the extra gold benefit from that. For this guy, let's go ahead and just do most health, and then we'll actually just, as soon as we get our first kill here, yeah, we got +8 gold, so we have a little bit to work with. Let's increase the health damage and armor damage of this guy, and that way it's wearing out anyone that happens to come through. See, he's got some armor there. All right, this one's got me a little nervous. We're really bunched up here, and we might end up dropping the run on this one. So I think we're actually going to survive, just barely. But once again, we're losing health at a rapid rate. So our bigger problem is that we're getting really bad RNG. We have this great little serpentine here, and then we have nothing but straightaways, which is unfortunate. It's a little better if they can kind of curl through these areas. So let's go ahead and get our gold benefit and see what happens. This is a chunk of mana here, which you can put a mana siphon on. Mana helps make your hits more powerful. There's different cards that rely on mana that will make your ballista and your different towers a little more powerful, you know. But it's a trade-off because then you have another mechanic that you have to manage. You need to make sure that you're generating as much mana as you are consuming, if not more. Otherwise, you end up losing those mana benefits, and it causes you a whole host of problems down the line. So we're looking a little rough. A lot of these guys have high armor. If I can get 1 more kill, we just need 1 more ballista. It's always just 1 more ballista. Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the end of this run. My first run I got 14 on, and I was quite proud of that. But like I said, on this one, we've really just gotten ourselves in a bad way because we have all these straightaways. So let's run it back and do it again. All right, so we're back in our tower. We have it facing this way this time, and our houses are over here, so we may not be able to immediately establish the gold benefit outside of this guy, because I do want to make sure that these are as versatile as possible. So let's set these up here, and then we'll hit expand. Ooh, great first roll. Really lots of space up here, high space. So let's go ahead and drop these guys up here, get that knocked out. That's 3 ballista, which should be pretty useful to us. Let's add a 4th. That's a really high concentrated death area right here. Let's expand. All right, and I'm immediately going to drop another ballista over here next to this house. I want to start reaping some of that extra gold benefit early. Let's let it run. Another house. Wow, we're getting really good luck here. This is not a lot of straightaways like we saw in the last one, which is really what I was talking about. We just need these serpentine movements that we can actually get in there and start wearing them out as they're walking back and forth. So I think here we're going to go with kill them with fire, because we don't really have a need for a university or a mana siphon just yet. So I want to set ourselves up for burn a little better. We don't have any gold to make any substantial upgrades right now. I mean, we could upgrade our towers, increase the health damage of this 4 guy. And let's go ahead and like burn the rest of our gold. I think it's better to make these towers a little stronger. That way we're not worrying about the different kinds of damage later on than it is to just have more base level towers. All right, that one was a really clean run. That turned out really well. Let's go ahead and expand again. Yeah, see, now we're starting to get this straightaway that's really going to hurt us in the long run. I don't have enough gold to put down any more ballista, and we haven't gotten any more tower rolls, so we're kind of stuck with just placing the ballista. And each time you place a tower, it gets more expensive. So that way it prevents you from it forces the game to scale. So really want to hold out on placing too many towers if we can. See, we're doing all right. This Death Alley here is really cleaning up when they come around this corner. It is quite useful. So let's go ahead and let it go again. And then hopefully when they enter this range over here, I think it'd be useful to load up this corner and then this corner. We'll try to stay away from building on straightaways and just focus on anywhere that we're causing them to turn. But we're gonna need some more gold for that, so hopefully we can generate that pretty quickly. All right, we're looking good. I'm gonna go ahead and place another tower over here. It's not gonna be useful immediately, but at least we're planning ahead. And then we'll go ahead and do some upgrades on it since we have the money. Excellent, so our next roll is Mana Siphon, a Bank, or a Heavy Shafts, which deals +1 damage to armor. That's what we're gonna go with because we want to try and make the most of our current existing infrastructure. So let's let it run again. All right, so we took a little bit of damage on that one. We had a lot of really spongy guys, and unfortunately that's going to continue to be a problem. So we're just going to have to set some more priorities here. Let's take a look at our guys over here up on this tower because we haven't really started setting priorities yet. So for this guy, I want to try and target near death if they're coming around here. Here I want to focus on most health. You'll focus on most health as well, and you will focus on... Oh, I already have you set for most health. Oh no, I clicked the wrong one. Whoops. We'll do most armor for this guy. Over here, let's focus on most health, and then let's set this guy's priority. Just leave it at progress since he's kind of at the front. That way he can start firing into the crowd as soon as they come in. And then let's go ahead and hit expand. All right, so we did take another hit there, but the good news is that I think I have a new plan. This guy I noticed is turning around completely and ignoring everybody over here, and that's because they have it set to progress. So I think really what we want to do is just set it to most health, and then we can just kind of evenly distribute the damage, because right now we're really focusing in on individuals, especially with this set to progress. So for now, let's go ahead and grab our ballista, and I want to drop one way up here, and we're going to set this to most health as well. And then I'm going to invest a little bit in upgrades, just do a health upgrade, an armor upgrade, and a shield upgrade. And then that should focus them on most health. Let's hit expand. This is kind of a problem. We've got a lot of really high health or high shield remaining guys bunching up, and that's going to continue to be a problem. Yeah, we've already taken a number of hits here. All right, well, at least we drew a card, so that's good. Let's see what we can do here. We can do Heavy Shafts 2, Enchanted Bolts, or Broadhead Bolts. I think we should add some shield damage because right now we really don't have a lot going on in terms of the shield damage, but they continue to come in with higher armor and higher shield. So I'm actually going to turn this over to most armor over here on the forefront, and then you will also target most armor, and then hopefully that wears them out enough that our most health over here can just really get at them. I do think setting a couple of these to near death may not be the worst idea. That way we can try and reduce the number that's getting through, and then these guys can be set to most health instead of progress. And then you can just be our fail-safe last shot here. Let's increase its health damage since it only costs a single gold. The rest of these guys I think have leveled up naturally. Yeah, you're pretty inexpensive, so let's upgrade these. Okay, so let's let it roll. This is a decent enough roll that it's looping back. It just depends on where this goes from here. We haven't gotten a second entryway either yet, which is excellent. And when you start adding, eventually the path will let it split off, and you'll end up having a bunch of different people coming from different directions, which just adds a more complex layer to it. But either way, this is good because we can catch them as they're coming in now that it's looped back on itself, which is really great. So hopefully we can get a little more gold. If this guy could just kill somebody, that'd be great, because I'd love to put a ballista here at this path, but it's going to require 10 more gold, so hopefully we can get that going really soon. Now it's not going to be useful for this round, but Let's hang on to that gold for a minute and see what we do, since we already know it's not going to be useful. That way, if I need to, I can drop an emergency ballista. They're starting to get haste, so that's going to be a problem, because they speed up coming around this corner. Oh, that's a lot of people. Yeah, I think we're doing another rerun. All right, so you know what they say, third time's the charm. Let's try and set up a couple of ballista here just to get us started. We'll go ahead and set their priority to most health, since they're super close to our tower, and hit expand. There we go. Nice and clean. Good news is we already have a town or a house to protect, so we can go ahead and set up a couple of these guys over here, and we'll set this to most health and most armor. No, let's actually set them both to most armor, since these guys are targeting most health. They will catch this path a little bit. I was hoping they would come back this way, because that would make that super useful, but that's all right. We can work around that. Currently, you know, they're not super strong, so it kind of allows us to keep building out, which is my new strategy, new and improved. We're going to keep basically banging our head against this till we figure it out, because I want to be good at this game, and I also recognize that I'm very much not. So let's go ahead and hit expand one more time. I think we'll be all right. Yeah, this is good. Look at this area over here. So hopefully if we spread out our towers a little more, we'll be all right. We still have this barrage over here. I might add a couple more back here just to add a little extra defense. Okay, so it looks like we have the opportunity to get a mana bank, the mortar tower, or a haunted house. We're gonna go with the mortar tower because they are pretty sweet, but they are expensive. So let's go ahead and set up a ballista to start with. We're gonna put one here and one here. And then we're gonna set this to most armor, and then I'm gonna hit expand. I wanna see where this goes, because if it loops back this way, then the mortar won't be specifically useful there. And that's really my big concern right now. Whoa, that's a lot going on there. Let's go ahead and put a mortar here in the center. Yeah, we just added 3 entry points to this area, which is gonna be really tough. But the mortar has really great range since it's on top of that tower, and it does a substantial amount of damage. It's just really, really slow. So kind of leaves us in a position where we just need to reinforce this area really hard. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so that's going to be about as reinforced as I can get it. I am going to go ahead and invest in some upgrades because I think that's going to be useful to us. This guy, the mortar, we're going to set this to most armor because I want it to do as much damage as possible. And we're also going to give it an armor upgrade. Then we're going to set these guys to most health to start wearing them out. And our next decision is going to come down to which way we want to expand. I'm a little fearful to expand this way outside of the fact that I think we have some overlap. So that may not be the worst thing in the world. Yeah, let's do that. All right, that was an excellent, excellent run. So we're going to add one more ballista over here because this choke point is going to be really critical for us going forward. We need to make sure this area is really locked down. So we're going to add this one to the most health gang and add some extra health damage to it. And then I'm thinking, since this is already getting, we need to try and get these longer. So let's try and distribute evenly how we expand. We want to make it longer so that we have more time to fire on them. So let's do this one next. See, these guys pop right in and can walk right past our choke point, which is why I want to work on getting those a little longer. That way we're not worrying about it as much in the future. This area is a blessing and a curse. It'll be a great choke point, but in the short term, it's kind of really challenging. So we can go ahead and unlock the poison sprayer or the Tesla coil. I think that's probably a good idea. I don't see any benefit to the haunted house immediately because we don't have any gravestones anywhere. So we're kind of in a position where we could unlock it, but I don't know how useful it's going to be. The poison sprayer will be good because it can add poison to them. So I think I'm going to do that. We don't have any mana generating currently. That's because I don't have any mana siphons or mana banks. But for now, let's just go ahead and run expand over here. See, the mortar towers are really good at softening up clumps like that if it doesn't miss, which there it just basically only hit one enemy, which is unfortunate, but this one should be good. Let's see. There we go. They're really, really useful for softening up an enemy position, which I personally like. Let's add a ballista tower over here just as a extra guy. We're gonna add that to near death just to wear out some of these enemies coming around this final stretch. And then let's, where do we expand next? I do want to add more ballista towers in the future. We have a couple of houses that we're not using, and we really need the gold, our gold intake to just start pumping up really fast. But for now, let's expand out this way. We added 2 portals over here, which is not good at all. We're going to have to reinforce this little neck here, which is going to be challenging with our current gold scenario. All right, I think all things considered, that went really, really well. So since we're kind of already in a weird way over here with the 2 entry points, and this seems to be manageable over here, I actually think it's not the worst idea to add more ballista over here. For now, we're just going to give it some upgrades, and then I'm going to tell it to target most armor. I think that makes sense, and then I guess we'll just expand. Oh my gosh, this whole area is going to be terrible. We're really in a bad way with all of these entry points. We just keep getting terrible RNG. But unironically, we're doing better than we have been, I think, so far. Especially if we can keep distributing forces like this with all these different entry points, we might turn out all right. I kind of hope I have the gold to add a mortar over here, but we're still in a situation where I'm having to choose between reinforcing these areas that I know are going to be trouble spots and adding towers to protect these towns. Yeah, see, we're in a bad position here. Okay, well, that is bad. we're in a really bad position right now. Hopefully, none of these are particularly super useful rolls. I guess we can get the mana siphon for the future. Let me move that so it's not actually clicking the thing behind it. Hit select. Yeah, we'll add a mana siphon for now. I mean, we're not going to be able to use any mana currently for anything because we don't have anything that actually uses mana, but we can at least try and run one of these guys. Let's see. All right, well, it's not the worst. It could be better, could be worse. We'll get the gold to add another ballista really quick. Let's go ahead and do that. And then let's add health damage to it and set priority to most health. And that way we can just really try and wear people out as they come through this choke point. I think that's going to be the most useful way to handle this right now, is just really get hot and heavy right here and wear them out as fast as we can. Especially since no matter which direction they come from, they have to come through this point. I think that's probably the most logical way to handle it. So that's going to be how we try and handle it. All right, so all in all, that was a really good round for us. So let's expand one more time and hope that this doesn't screw us more. All right, so that's a good straightaway. I'm feeling good about that. We're definitely adding more ballistas over here. We just need to keep wearing them out as best we can. Add health damage, and we're gonna target most health. And then hopefully anyone that gets through can get targeted by these guys, but I just really want to reinforce this area. Oh man, we're having a lot get through already. It's a little troubling, but let's see what happens here. We're still in mortar range, which means the mortar can really be a game changer for us. So hopefully they come through. Oh my gosh, that's a lot. Come on, guys. Fire, fire, fire. All right. They're all coming through with low health, which is good. That's what we want, because then we can really target them. Perfect. All right, that was great. I'm really happy with the run there. I still, do I want to add? Yeah, I think I want to add another ballista over here. This area is just going to be chunky, and we're just going to do as much as we can to do as much damage as possible as they're coming through. We're going to spend all of our gold here, and I'm going to expand one more this way. Yeah, let's expand one more that way, because I think, let's expand one more this way, because that's going to increase the length over here. All right, that's perfect. That's what we wanted. We only wanted a straightaway. It was kind of a roll of the dice. I was hoping that it wasn't going to be another 3-way entry point there, but I think we got super lucky, and I think we'll be all right on this one, depending on how they do coming through this little death alley here. As long as we can keep softening them up, I think we'll be happy with the results. So you see these little armor rolly guys here, they will break open and release a bunch of ground troops, which is troubling. This is really troubling over here. They're getting way farther in than I would have liked to see. And the problem is we just don't do a lot of armor damage. I need to do a better job of preserving our armor damage instead of focusing so much on health. All right, let's reset it. All right, so I went through the upgrade path and did a couple of little things. The big thing I did was make sure that enemies drop more gold now, which is going to be substantially helpful because we keep running into financing issues, which is annoying. For now, we're just going to set these guys to most health up close and then hit expand. We should be able to thunk. And there's some gold for us. Excellent. All right, so let's drop another ballista up here, and we're going to set hit to most armor and upgrade the armor. All right, that was excellent. I'm very happy with that. We're going to drop another ballista up here, and this one's going to do most health, and we're going to upgrade health and shield and armor on it just to make sure it's really turbocharged. I think it's probably worth also upgrading some of these guys as well, just to make sure that we're doing all we can. I'm not going to upgrade health on these. I'm just going to upgrade armor and shield because that seems to be our biggest trouble spot. We're going to go expand. All right, that was a really good run. So we have a couple of options here. We can do kill them with fire, which increases maximum burn per second by plus 26 to 50. Or we could do quality over quantity, which is going to be all towers gain crit chance equal to their level but lose 1 base damage. Crits are really nice. I would think that statistically it probably makes more sense to keep our base damage as a guarantee, but the crits could really get us out of some tricky spots, so I think it's probably worth doing that. And then we'll also go ahead and invest 1 more ballista up here. Let's go for 2. Why not? And then we'll target most health and most armor over here, and then we'll just upgrade these guys for armor and health. And then this guy will get upgraded for shield, and we'll expand. We got super lucky that there's a house here. I want to build some towers next to that as soon as possible. That way we can start reaping the gold benefits. I think one of the issues with this game is early on, your cash flow just isn't that good without the base upgrades. And so you kind of struggle your way through with RNG until you get super lucky, or you upgrade your base stuff so you get more benefits. So let's go ahead and add a couple towers here. I want to make sure that we're just really getting the most out of this area. It's not the greatest, but I want to make sure we're getting the gold benefit while we still kind of have the flexibility. So let's target most shield with this guy. Seems to be something I'm also not doing, so I think that might help. And we'll run an expansion. We now have 2 portals, which is unfortunate. We also, let's take a look at this guy. Yeah, they're giving us 12 gold now. It only counts 2 of the towers, which is interesting. Maybe that's the maximum. Yeah, I'm not sure. Either way, we seem to be doing all right. We're getting to kind of a nervous zone here. Let's see how we do. We'll be all right. Yep, all right. So let's drop another ballista here. It's kind of central to this area, or maybe we'll do it just over here because it'll have better range. Yeah, that'll cover us on that, so that's good. Let's add more health to this guy and expand out this way. Nice. All right, so that went really well. We're going to take the broadhead bolts and deal 1 extra health to, or 1 extra damage to health. I think that's going to be pretty useful for us. So we are going to add a ballista over here. That'll cover all this area, which I think is important. And we're going to target most shield. And then we're going to give it a couple, or I guess just 1 shield upgrade. Is there anything that we can afford for 9 gold? Yes, we could do health damage. All right, let's go. Man, those gold upgrades have proven to be extremely useful so far. Let's go ahead and bump up the shield damage on this guy here. And then we'll bump up our armor damage on this guy. And I want to switch him over to most armor. And then we're going to try and stash our gold. I want to keep expanding this way, even though this is a short run. I think if we keep the timing right, these guys can focus on this wave and let them be shorter, which is a little riskier, but it should balance us out. So let's do expand up here. Yeah, look at that. What a great roll that was. All right, let's see what happens here, because like I said, the goal was to separate out these waves as much as possible. I think it's going to be useful to let the ballista focus on one thing and then be able to switch their full focus on the other once we've worn down these guys. They are getting a little close though. Not close enough though. We'll be all right. So let's go ahead and add another ballista over here. And we'll have him target most armor, bump up that armor damage. And this is kind of our big pinch point right here, so I really want to make sure we're investing heavily in it. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of gold to do much with, but I also think maybe it would be worth upgrading these guys. Let's see, you're level 2, you're level 3, you're level 3. Yeah, so let's upgrade you one more time. We'll bump you up on health. And then let's also focus on some armor and shield. If you notice, the actual health multiplier is substantially higher. For obvious reasons, shields are a little more, a little stronger than skin. So we're just going to keep trying to upgrade these guys. I want them to really pack a punch when the monsters come through here. So let's expand up here. Another great roll. All right, we got rid of our first wave. Our second wave's coming through here, and hopefully it gets taken care of pretty quickly. We're doing all right here. I think our current strategy of just keep expanding out this way and leave this short run over here is really effective, especially since we keep backloading so heavily here. We can do heavy shafts 1, which will add +1 damage to the armor, or we can add a mine, which is useful because it would repair and increase max tower health, and it would give us some health regen, but I really want to start dealing more damage, so I think this is the way to go. And then we're also going to add 1 more ballista over here. I'm going to leave this spot open so that we can do a mine at some point, but for now I just want to really be a heavy front load. I think here is good. It won't catch the guys coming through here, but it does add a little extra spice over here. So I think that is the right way to run this. We are going to add some more armor damage to this guy, or I guess we're not because we're broke. All right, well, let's expand 1 more. Another good one with only 1 entry point. Pretty happy with that. And then we should be able to start wearing these guys out pretty good. They are going to continue to get stronger, which is why I want to keep backloading over here. Try and do as much as we can to increase the amount of damage that we're doing. It looks like we already wore out their shields and armor, which is excellent. It means we're down to just health. So hopefully we can just kind of straighten up here. Come on, guys. I do need to add some more back here, I think, in our emergency situations. Come on, there we go. Ooh, that was really close. All right, let's see how we're doing over here. That one got me a little nervous, not gonna lie. Hopefully, yeah, we're good here. This is good. This is good. I'm feeling good about this one, guys. I think we're doing a really great job. I'm also thinking I put a ballista over here that should give it good range into this area, and then it can kind of just focus on the folks coming straight out of the area over here. We're gonna add some shield damage to this guy, and then I'm gonna come all the way over here and expand. Oh man, yeah, the luck had to run out eventually, I guess. Well, either way, hopefully we've spaced it out enough. I kind of wish I had mortars just to soften them a little faster, but it is what it is. The ballista are doing a great job over here, knocking out this first wave, so we should be ready for the next wave to roll through. As they come through, I'm just going to try and observe how this works, because we're actually doing pretty well on health right now, so I need to figure out how we can continue to maintain that, which I guess in hindsight I'm just describing the whole point of the game, but it is kind of what's running through my mind right now. I just want to see how we can make our trail more effective. I'm going to target near death over here, and hopefully it will clean up some of this back area that we're having trouble with. All right, so that went well. This is a problem. And I'm thinking maybe we should expand it this way. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, and we're doing pretty good over here. We're cleaning it up. I mean, we have just a bunch of little guys, which is super useful for what we're trying to accomplish here. We're wearing out their armor pretty quick, which is good. That's kind of the point of this whole junction here. I would like to start building out here a little bit because we are going to continue to see increased. Yeah, see, look how many people are coming through here now. So hopefully we can take out some of these guys pretty quick and get a ballista up. Yep, all right, up. And then we're going to increase our health damage up there. That's just an extra free shot. Hopefully it will help. It's got tremendous range, which is really nice. I'm not as concerned with stuff coming through here right now. I think we're doing all right. I think we probably want to keep investing in this area, but in the short run, I think having kind of a forward assault is not the worst. I want to increase the armor damage like a lot on some of these guys. And I can't afford to upgrade it anymore. Yeah, so we're going to have to rely on these guys to get this done over here, and I don't think we're going to get them all. But we can take a few hits right now. Not a lot, not like that. Oh my gosh. All right, so we just lost half our health. This might start getting a little stressful here in a minute. So these guys are going to break open. We should be able to wear them out quite a bit. All right, well, I guess our next move is going to be to kill them with fire. That should add burn to everything. I want to reinvest as much as we can here. I think adding shield and armor damage is not a terrible idea, to be honest with you, because this is kind of our main forefront of the assault. And so we want to like use this area to soften them as much as possible. That way these guys back here can just strictly focus on wearing out their health. This has been upgraded tremendously for armor. I am going to bump it up for shield as well. And I want to switch it over to most armor. So we have most armor over here. Let's see. We could probably bump up the armor damage on this just to even it out. I want to try and balance these. This needs shield upgrades real bad, but I cannot afford it. So we are going to have to roll with it. Luckily, these guys over here still could use some upgrades and they're a bit lower level. I think you're probably my best bet. I can upgrade your armor damage and then change you to target most armor. All right, let's run back all the way over here and hit expand. And now we're doing burn damage, I believe, so we should start seeing some of that come into play, which is good. Not going to be as effective on these turtle guys, but I think now that we don't have as many targets and everyone's focusing on them, we should be able to wear them down. They don't have a lot of health, they just have a lot of armor. Yeah, there we go. All right, so now we're down to just the little guys, which we should be able to. Man, I really wish I had invested more back here. The more I'm watching this, because I mean, the turtles, if they're expected to break coming around this corner, then of course it's going to be a struggle to get them cleared out before they get to the tower. Yep. All right, so I think another good investment would be just adding another ballista, maybe here. That should catch a little bit. We're gonna do near death for you and just invest in your health and shield and armor. All right, that was pretty good. We do have a turtle coming through. Oh, a number of turtles. Okay, well, hopefully they can break through pretty quick. This is about to level up for armor damage. We'll go ahead and speed that along. Yeah, that's good. Just keep wearing them out as best we can. If we can break them kind of asymmetrically, I think that might be better, because then we can break that, focus on the little guys, and then break that and focus on the little guys, just to kind of space it out a little bit so we're not getting overwhelmed by numbers. Because, I mean, the reality is that these ballista can only fire a single shot at a time, right? So the goal is to try and make each shot as effective as possible, I think anyway. So let's increase our armor damage here. I do want to bump up our shield damage as well on this guy, since it's kind of our first shot out there. And then over here, we should be able to increase our armor damage. Let's see, we'll bump up our shield. No, we won't. We only have 68 gold again. Ugh, just keep running out of gold. Let's add more punch there. And then we'll come all the way back up here and hit expand. And all this is accomplishing is just separating this out. I really want to reinforce this area here soon, but I'm also concerned about this area over here. So maybe we'll expand one over here just to give us some space now that this is so long. It might not be the worst idea. We're doing all right with this first wave. Now that we're saving up some gold, I'm going to try and refrain from doing up any panic upgrades if I can, because I think it is going to be worth reinvesting in that corner up there. But holy smokes, there's a lot of them. Hopefully we can get them worn out pretty quick. All right, I'm very happy with what I'm seeing right now. I mean, this guy is a menace, but he can take out a fair amount of health at a time as long as they're not shielded. So I think we'll be all right. It depends on how quickly we can finish these guys off, and it looks like we're going to do pretty well. Yeah, this is looking good. So here they come. They're not going to make it all the way. There's no way. All right, excellent. So I really want to invest here because at this point, all of these have to come through this area. So I think dropping a couple of ballista over here is well worth our time and energy. And we're going to try and make the most of our range. Let's do focus on most health, or most armor, sorry, and most shield. And then let's go ahead and bump up the armor twice on this guy and the shield twice on this guy. It's just going to help us soften up their approach a little bit. And then let's hang on to our money and expand this. Ooh, that was really dangerous, because if that added 2 points, that would have been rough. But I think that's really good. I'm really happy with the roll there. So this will give us the opportunity to fire on these guys a little more. And then I can build up around this town, hopefully. It's unfortunate that we got turtles that came through here. But we do have really effective armor damage, armor damage, so I think we should be okay. And there they go. Is this guy gonna fire? There we go. All right, come on. There we go. All right, that worked pretty well, I think. We're doing pretty good on gold. I think it's gonna be worth adding a couple more towers here at the end of this round because, oh man, we have a lot of enemies on the way still. Might be worth adding a tower now. We'll see what happens here. I think we're doing all right. We're because we've spaced them out so well, we're looking good. These guys are a little concerning, but we've already worn them out quite a bit. So hopefully it won't be too much of a major issue. Oh, here comes Oogie. Okay, so Oogie, you have not seen yet. Oogie is a problem because he's a sponge. And I need to make sure that we're getting him taken care of as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and add another ballista over here. And then I'm gonna upgrade the health damage as much as possible. And Oogie can do a lot of damage. He's a big boy. So we need to make sure that we're actually trying to get rid of him as fast as possible. We're doing all right, as long as we can keep this health damage, the health damage up, because he doesn't have a lot of armor or anything. He's just kind of a sponge. But it looks like we're gonna be all right. Wow. This is a new personal best for me. I'm pretty excited about this because Oogie was what ended my first run that I did, and it was a little sad, you know. So let's add +1 to shield. I think that's a good investment, and then we also can open some treasure chests. Yep, let's hit bleed them dry. Adds bleed, so we're happy with this. I think the next move is going to be coming all the way back up here and adding some more ballista. And I think for now we're just going to add armor and health, and then I want armor and shield, and then I think we set 1 for shield, 1 for armor. Yeah, so we'll add armor here, and we'll also go ahead and throw 1 more shield on it just so it's evened out. I think that should be good for now, and then we're going to run 1 more expansion over here. Whoa, look at all those gravestones. I should have gotten the haunted house. Oh well. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Unfortunately, hindsight is 2020, and there's no way to know really what you're going to roll with the RNG, so luckily this is going really well. These guys can take some hits, though, which is a little concerning. Doesn't seem like we have a lot of them over here. I think you need poison damage or something like that to deal with them. I'm not sure. I've never made it this far. Let's see what happens here. All right, so these guys have a lot of shield, and so I'm going to try and go through and upgrade our shield damage as best we can. I hope that they're not loaded in these turtles, because that's going to be a huge problem. We're barely making it as it is, and I actually think we'll probably have at least 1 person get through to the tower at this point. It could be the end of the round for us. It's hard to tell. This guy is concerning, so is this guy in the back. Hopefully we can wear these guys out more once they come around this corner. I have invested a little bit more in shield, kind of burnt the gold that we had just to try and get that taken care of. Yeah, I'm gonna do it again. Just keep throwing money at this issue. Come on, come on. Guys, really? Oh, we got it. Holy smokes, that was so close. Yeah, they're not gonna get done though. Yep, all right, so that's 2 more health lost, but that is the end of the round, so I think this tells me that I need to upgrade more on our shield damage and probably focus one of these guys on shield instead of armor. So let's move you over to shield, bump you up, and then I think that's probably going to be about all I can do right now. All right, so really only those little purple ghosty guys are what I'm really scared of right now. See, there's some in the back here. Luckily they're slow, so they inherently get filtered to the back of the group. But I really do want to drop another ballista here as soon as possible. There we go. All right, let's set you to shield. See, this guy can catch them when they come around this corner, which is nice. We're just going to keep reinforcing this area here because this is kind of our death valley. And then hopefully we don't run into any major issues with the ghosties, but it's hard to tell. They're way far back with these turtles, so hopefully we can wear them out a little bit. It looks like we've gotten a substantial amount of damage off on them, but not as much as I would have liked to see. Part of that is just because there's nothing here, and we're running into this issue again with the gold, where we just don't have a ton of cash flow to deal with these problems. So I just keep reinvesting it back into upgrades. But I do think having some extra towers would be useful. All right, so that takes care of them. Let's go ahead and drop one more here. And I want you to focus on most shield, and we're just going to bump the shield damage up a bit. We're just going to keep reinforcing this area over here, because I think, you know, like I said, this area is really tight as it is. You know, we have these folks come through here, but everyone's going to be passing through here. So I think we're doing all right. We've broken the turtles, so we have that going for us. These guys are not getting the attention that they need, and that is concerning to me. Now this is concerning to me, that there's a turtle and one of the ghosts or zombies or whatever they are coming through here. That is troublesome, because they are spongy enough that I would prefer them to go through more than just this one major layer of... Whoa, what the heck are these? Speedy boys, that's what they are. Okay, let's drop another ballista here. I'm not panicking, you're panicking. Let me upgrade the health damage quite a bit. Okay, please. Please? Okay. Whew. So, I think, all in all, that could be worse. These guys are so fast, holy smokes. Alright, well, at least we got taken care of, and we seem to be holding our own over here, though we do have a lot left on this run. So hopefully, our little mini Death Valley over here is doing some damage. We are going to increase this. I think it's worth increasing our range and our ability to lay out some damage. I'm going to do an armor damage there. It's not going to be as useful immediately, but it should help with these guys coming through. And again, I just want to make sure that we're kind of distributed so that we don't fall into the trap of having all these little clumps. Because clumps are killers. If they all bunch up in one area, the ballista don't really seem to know what to do. It's nice in those situations to have mortars with clumps, because you can do a lot of splash damage, kind of a big AoE attack. But for now, we don't have that. We have ballistas, so we're gonna have to rely on them to actually get everything taken care of here. This area over here is a gold mine for Haunted House. I hope I get one in the near future so I can try and tax them, because I really would love to have some more gold to work with. I think gold is kind of a direct translation in this game to success. The more you can spend and reinvest into your towers, and the more you can buy towers, the better off you'll be. These guys are going to be no problem. They're low enough that I'm pretty comfortable that with where we're at. So I do think, oh, we're in a situation again where we don't have enough gold, but we pulled a tower. Oh, look at that. We got mortar towers. Ooh, but this is very, very tempting to deal burn damage. We're going to do that, and I'll tell you why, because I can't afford a mortar tower right now. And as much as I want mortars, I think it's more effective to upgrade and reinvest back into our ballista. So let's do that. And that should get us getting a little better. You know, we'll have more damage output, which is kind of what we need, just keep increasing our DPS. So let's expand this guy over here. Perfect. Man, even more gravestones. This is beautiful. So now we have burn, which should do a fair amount and at least add some status effects to these guys. They are so fast. Luckily, they're not going to survive getting through here. There's just too many towers and not enough of them. Yeah, the burn is really effective, especially since we already pulled a burn upgrade. I'm hoping to get a bleed upgrade soon so we can actually start dealing the bleed damage that, you know, it would be useful to us. Because right now it's just kind of a card that we pulled that we're not actually going to get to use. This was a very lucrative round for us. We're up to 860, so I'm going to add a couple more towers over here, just so we can continue to increase our damage output. I think you're the one I added? Yeah, I want you to target most health, and same with you. We're not trying to fool anybody here. We just want to knock out as much health as possible, and we're doing pretty good. This burn damage upgrade was huge, I think. I think it was a great investment of our time and energy, so I think we're looking pretty good. I mean, these guys are a little scary because they still have a lot of shield, but we can fix that. All right, so I've gone through and upgraded some of the shield damage of these guys in this area. It should help a lot, though unfortunately, I think it may not be quite enough. We'll find out. Let's see how much damage we can do with these very few towers that we have. That's a little concerning. I wish we had gotten the burn earlier. I think that would have made the difference for us. Unfortunately, all we can do is sit here and try and upgrade these guys, do more damage. But unfortunately, there's only so many shots we can take. And so I think that's going to be the end of this run. But level 18 is my new highest score. I'm pretty happy with that. And I'm pretty satisfied with how this one went. I'm definitely getting better at the game as I play it. So I think I am going to have to continue to practice to get better at it. I think this game's pretty cool. It's a little different than what we usually play on the channel, but I kept seeing it pop up on YouTube and I was like, man, that looks really fun. So I hope you guys really enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, please hit the subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for your support. And don't forget to hit that notification bell to make sure that you get updates on when I release videos. So that's going to be it for today. This was Games Over Explained, playing Rogue Tower, and we'll see you next time.